So, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Today, I'm going to give you a handful of rules for life. These are things that throughout our life we pick up sayings, we pick up thoughts. As I'm working on affirmations and I'm working on personal development, I'm working on my own self-help course and all of these other things. There are some things that keep popping up, and I wanted to give you a few highlights. Some of these I hold on to tightly. Some are just great thoughts that I've gathered along the way. And feel free to share some of yours, but what I want to do is share a handful of those highlights. Okay, so real quick, for so many, the media, Facebook and Google are the masters of their minds. Yep, absolutely. So, and Michael is saying, I am that I am. Yeah, that's a pretty big thing, especially when you step into what it was originally in Hebrew and everything else and diving into all of that. But that's a rabbit hole that we can go down some other time. Lift yourselves up, guys, and that's the key to awareness and affirmations and building yourself out. So, number one, you guys can jot these down. If you like them, I'll probably just post them in the Skype group later on as a whole, so you can grab them there. All right, number one, when you make a promise to yourself, keep it. Quit breaking promises to yourself. I'm not even as worried about, you want to have full integrity and keep promises to others, but first thing you need to do oftentimes, guys, is just keep the promises that you make to yourselves. Okay. I don't know if is it V that's in, can you, keep an eye on the waiting room. Next, audit your circle of friends. If they're negative and they no longer align with your values, then cut them out. That's going to be hard for some of you. Cutting people out of your life isn't an easy thing to do. They're going to call and ask why. Why aren't we hanging out like we did? I don't know. Blame it on the pandemic. Blame it on something else, right? Why aren't I talking as much? Well, I'm busy on other stuff. And if they keep pushing, push back. Listen, I am pushing myself to become better and lift up the amount of positivity that I have in my life. And I love you so much, but I'm struggling with the drama, the negativity that we constantly seem to talk about whenever we're together or whenever we speak. So if you can help me with that, then I would love to continue to associate the way that we always have, but man, I need your help, right? Next, and this goes to what we've been talking about, check your self-talk. Let me ask, either on a strategy session, on one of these, or one-on-one, how many of you guys have had me say you need to stop saying that? I know there's some. I did it twice today to people. Knock that off, right? Well, I'm no good at, I would, but stop it. Check your self-talk. Not the conversion, the conversation you have with yourself today has the biggest influence on who you become tomorrow. Conversation you have with yourself today has the biggest influence on who you become tomorrow. That's why we're doing the affirmations, guys. If I can give you 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes at night, a handful of phrases throughout the day where you're saying something positive to yourself in a way that you haven't in years. Some of you haven't spent 10 minutes talking in a positive manner to yourself ever in your life. Well, now's the time to start. Those affirmations begin that process. So check your self-talk. Next, judge less and be more kind. And I know most of you guys are already pretty good at this, but judge less and be more kind. Next, stop being needy. And well, here, real quick. Number 4, judge less and be more kind. This goes to whether you are on one side of the political spectrum or on the other. You're on one side of the pandemic and the vaccine side or the other. You are on one side of this or that, right? Like in the grand scheme of things, we all just need to be more kind, right? I'm not getting into a conversation of what is right and wrong, but too often we kind of hold on to our view and say, that's it. Life isn't so black and white. Next, stop being so needy, validation seeking, and looking for approval from everyone. You don't need it. Stop it. Stop. I don't know how many times I've talked with you guys and say, well, I want to do this, but I need to. No, you don't. It doesn't matter what your kids say. It doesn't matter what your friends say. You need to build your life, right? Next, suffer, challenge yourself, and get uncomfortable. Lean into adversity. I'm not saying you consciously go out after suffering, but understand if you are willing to push yourself through and lift yourself out of, you will strengthen yourself and become better. If we run from challenges, that's where we run into issues. Next, take all the time and the money that you spend to impress or appease others. Invest it in your personal growth. That's where you'll get the highest return on investment. Meaning, conversation recently with some friends, a couple of different friends, different elements here. One is constantly giving money to friends and family. They work hard, they do well. A friend falls into a time of need, so they give. A family member gets sick, and so they give. Someone else needs help, and so they give time. So no matter how much they work, they can't seem to personally get over the hump. And it's now into their mid-50s, late 50s, it's starting to finally break them. They're a loving individual, but their relationship with money and success isn't any good. And the way that they avoid it is by giving everything that they've got, time or money, to someone else. And so it has a built-in excuse. I don't have to confront my relationship with success or money because I'm giving it to someone else, right? I'm giving it to my family member. I'm giving it here. I'm giving it there. I'm being giving. Now, maybe it's not money. Maybe it's time. Maybe it's emotions. You're enabling, in a way, almost this level of codependency for others, but it allows you to play the victim. Stop investing so much time and money and effort into making others happy or to impressing others. That goes to the keeping up with the Joneses, right? Quit comparing your life to others and trying to make others happy. Invest that time and effort into yourself, and it's going to be a frustrating transition for a lot of you. Learning how to say no to certain things is a pretty difficult thing. But if you're willing to invest in yourself, this will take time, and you're going to feel selfish. You're going to feel greedy, and you may have friends or family members that tell you you're selfish for not helping them. You know, another family that I know is they're struggling because the mom has been allowing several of the kids to kind of live off of her. I'm not going to share the slides for this in Skype. I'm just going to share the quotes. I'm just going to copy and paste them. So anyway, the mom's been allowing the kids to live off of her and live out of the house and do all of these things. And the kids want to take over the house and do all of this other stuff. Well, that's part of mom's retirement. But, you know, how do I do this and how do I do that? And I'm on a conversation with this woman, and I'm going, you say no. Well, but then they're going to, no. You say no. I can't because, and if they're unwilling to listen, you know, I mean, look, go talk with a therapist, go talk with an attorney if you need to deal with things, but you've got to learn to say no to others and say yes to you, or it's going to be a struggle the last, 10, 20 years of your life. Right. And a lot of us are kind of in that, knock on wood, maybe science does something to extend life for all of us. But, a lot of us are kind of on that, over the hill. 40 is what they say is over the hill. Right. So on that side of things, look, 10, 20, 30, 40 years, however much you got left, do you want to spend it worried about how others are feeling, or do you want to finally make yourself feel good because you put your own priorities first? Right? So next, you do not want to lead the victimhood. Your life is kind of, depleting the well. Your life is a well. And the more you give to others, the emptier you get. That's energy, that's money, that's everything else. So you've got to find a way to either fill that up or create that irrigation system, or however far you want to go with whatever metaphor you want. You've got to create a way to stay full and maybe create additional wells to help them, teach them how to dig down and do what they need to. in order to take that step, right? They've got to learn how to do it though. Teach a man to fish, right, ladies and gentlemen? So next 40 will be the best. Absolutely. It's an illusion that you're actually helping others, as you can unconsciously be saying you don't believe in them. Truth, 100% truth. All right, take that time and money you spend on to impress or appease others, invest in yourself. Next, control your time. Do the work while others complain or they waste it. Control your time, time management. Time is yours. If you're complaining you don't have time because you're doing all of these other things, are you doing them because you are appeasing others, or are you doing it because it's a necessity for you? Is this advancing myself? So this time investment is the same as your money investment up here, guys. Right? I hope we're all on the same page there. If you're struggling with time, it's probably because you're giving someone else control over it. Next, eat well, train smart, stay healthy and focused. Get in control of your life and your body. Now, I know some of you guys have certain ailments that require a higher level of medical help. Great. But I promise you, there's still stuff that you can do for yourself that would improve your day to day. There are simple things that you can do to improve your day to day. Drink more water. Get those vitamins. Do a little exercise. Raise your energy, your vibration. Go for a walk. Get out in the vitamin D. Right? Next. Show up to everything with the first day of school mentality. Brand new, wide-eyed, bushy-tailed, right? I don't know anything. I'm here to learn. Always be willing to learn. Always. Next, it's not what you add to your life that makes a difference, but what you remove. Again, that ability to say no. The negative things that we have built up over the decades that we get rid of. Number 12. Can everyone read that, or do I have to say it? Don't be a donkey. Karma's a not good thing. Be kind. It goes back to one of the first ones, but too often, I'm about the most easygoing guy you'll ever meet until you really, really push those buttons. So I can get to this point, but it takes a lot. So I do everything that I can to make sure that I've got good brownie points built up. Okay. Remember, you're the captain of your life. You can throw overboard anyone who's not qualified to be in your life or on your ship. I've talked about that before. On this journey, in these waters, whether they're tumultuous and storming or calm and peaceful, you're the captain. You are. You've got to guide your ship. You decide what direction it's going. You decide who's going to be part of that crew. Nobody else has that power, has that capability. Just you, unless you turn it over. All right. Curtis, I make it my full-time job. What I think about myself, not worry. We should listen to the opinions of others as to how they see us, but never take it personally. See if it's true or not. Yep. So, Michael, that goes with with our emotional IQ, right? You have your self-awareness, self-management. We have social awareness and social management. So absolutely, how others perceive us is important. But their opinions shouldn't dictate all of our actions, right? Yeah, but that's where raising your level of self-awareness can be real important. Some of us are unaware of how we come off, right? So manage your priorities. Time is constant and fleeting. Yes, absolutely. Okay, just a few more. Remember, you're captain of your life. Next, get to know you. And that goes with what I was just talking about. If you need work or you don't like something, then change it. Don't worry about what the others think. So what I mean is a lot of times there are certain ways that we are, certain lives that we live, certain, the mask that we put on when we're at work or when we're at home or when we're with family. And there's certain things that we do or ways that we behave that have kind of been dictated by others. And if there's something that you don't like about yourself, if there's something that you've done for a long, long time, if there's something that's going on that you need to change, then just change it. And yes, I understand some of those elements take time, certain habits, certain addictions, certain characteristics. But the great thing is you can change them. Now, the affirmations that we've been going through and working on your subconscious may be necessary to change that, but you can consciously choose to do that. You can make the conscious choice to become better now. And it doesn't have to wait. And I don't need someone else to tell me, yes, Andrew, it's okay. You can improve. All of you guys can do that. Okay. Next. Quit being lured by short-term mediocrity, ease, tricks, and hacks. Be willing to fight for your higher purpose. Most of the things, and everyone on here should understand this, we're all grown adults. Most of the things that have tremendous value and worth are going to take time and effort to get there, and you got to be willing to fight for it. When you know what you want and you're willing to fight for it, you'll get there. And the last one, recognize how much greatness you have. This goes to Michael said something a minute ago, the I am that I am, and understanding your soul, purpose, necessity, growth, and everything else. Recognize how much greatness you have there. Affirm that greatness as often as necessary to recognize it. The power that you guys have when applied consistently, constantly, over time, to overcome everything that's been there before. Build on that. Affirm that. That's why we're doing the affirmations challenges, so that you can breathe some positivity. You can breathe in a recollection of what you may have forgotten at some point during your life, right? That you are the princess, that you are the superhero, that you are, whatever it was that you always told yourself, or that your parents hopefully told you when you were really young, or that you dreamed about being at some point. The seed of that greatness is within you if you're willing to go after it. Now, we grab onto it oftentimes, and I know a lot of you guys on this call, because I've had those conversations, some of you guys have grabbed a hold of that greatness temporarily, and then we let it go because it scares us. Because in order to maintain greatness, you have to be willing to constantly push. Now, you've got to go when it's uncomfortable. You got to wake up when you're frustrated. You got to push through when others are saying, hey, you've already done it. Don't worry about it. Take a breath, take a breather. Why do you work so hard? You can relax as long as you schedule it, make it part of your self-care routine, plan out. But don't be scared of the greatness that you have. Quit making excuses for why you don't have it now, or why you're not working or putting everything into going after it now. Stop and just go do it. Recognize the greatness that is there. Affirm consistently. Now, the key to the affirmations, though, guys, is not just affirming in word, but take some action each and every day that affirms your affirmations. Don't allow the words to become hollow. Be the best version of you. Hold on to that greatness. Live the best version of your life that you can. And you will become amazing individuals that you are. And on that note, go out, rise from the ashes, fly like the phoenixes that you are. Have an amazing day. Real quick, for those of you that haven't, because look, we've got 47 plus people in here. Not everybody's inside the affirmations group. Take a minute, join. You learn to love yourselves. Absolutely. Learn to love yourselves.